मैं हमारा तो जस्ट करी आवे जब मैं साउंड ऑन करी थी फाइन फोकसिंग
runs her blogging website called Lajjaish. She is also a representative of Khabar Chek, a digital news platform. I'm officially announcing this panel discussion open. Over to you, Lajja.
Hi, Reshma. Thank you very much for such a warm welcome. I would like to welcome everyone out here, and let's start with our discussion. It's going to be very interesting. The topic is very interesting, as Reshma has mentioned. So before starting our discussion, I would like to introduce our panelists, our experts in the house. And I will begin with first panelist Bautik Sheth. He is a digital marketing consultant and trainer, founder of iVipnan Digital Marketing Agency. He is a seasoned marketer with over 15 years of experience in digital marketing field. He expertises in social media growth strategies, SEO, and search engine marketing. He is also a chief trainer and educator of the digital marketing course. Welcome, sir, and please share your opening statement with us.
Hello everyone, thank you so much Lajja for the beautiful introduction, and I'm excited to be the part of this event for the 6th consecutive time, and I'm very excited because I'm going to join by fellow panel members Parth, Himani and Amish. So the topic selected is very crucial because the selection of the topic says a lot. We are normally talking about digital marketing only. Nobody talks about specifically about SEO or maybe social media. And you are going to see people are talking about SEO or social media, but not the combination of the both. So I personally feel, by looking at the current scenario in last 1 or 2 years now, what I personally feel that this is the right time that every business owner, the marketers, they need to understand the importance of each and every platform that we use on digital. So rather than focusing on the certain platforms, maybe on social media only, or even in the social media, only focusing on Instagram or maybe Facebook or even Pinterest, why we cannot focus on the other platforms as well? So obviously it depends on the kind of business you are in, but I personally feel that if your business allows you to go with SEO activity along with the social media, you should go to that. And I think we are going to discuss for next 60 odd minutes on the same thing, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Lajja.
Thank you so much. Now our second panelist, let's welcome her, Himani Kakaria. She is a seasoned content driving marketing consultant with brand building and SEO in focus. She helps businesses with the overall brand positioning, data driven, integrated and channel specific marketing strategies and demand generation. What will be your opening statement?
Hey Lajja, thank you so much for giving me this wonderful introduction. And I am really excited to be a part of this social media day. And because this day is something that we celebrate, not, we don't celebrate all the other channels or platforms, right? We celebrate specifically this social media day. So it is like really exciting when we all talk about how businesses can grow and how we professionals can help them, right? So it is like really interesting when all of us are going to discuss the same thing, you know, how to grow, how to drive growth for all the businesses. So it's like, you know, we all know that, as Bautik said, that, you know, since 2 years, things have been changed. and we need to focus on certain, I mean, not certain platforms, but all the platforms. But then, when I talk about local businesses, including e-commerce ones, what is happening is that they are looking into generating sales faster. So when it comes to generating sales, faster, they have one platform in their mind, or maybe one channel in their mind, which is social media. So does that mean they only need to focus on social media for business growth? I believe let's discuss that in our coming times, right? So thank you so much, Lajja, and I'm super excited for this and looking forward to it.
That's very interesting, and I'm sure the topic is going to be very interesting for us. Further, I'm moving to our third panelist, Amish Shah. He's a professional digital marketer with more than 15 plus years of experience in core marketing domain. He is the founder and managing director of Smith Digital Marketing Private Limited, Ahmedabad, that was kickstarted in 2011 with front end brand name ProSmith. He's an expert in handling new age marketing communications with impact driven social media strategies, search engine marketing, video marketing, and e-commerce. Welcome, sir, and we would like to hear the opening statement from you too.
Absolute honor to be on this platform, and thank you for such a lovely introduction about me. I may tell that you mentioned about the seasoned marketer, but let me still continue being a student in this digital marketing industry. It's been almost a decade I founded my company in Ahmedabad, but what I see is the tremendous energy that the youngsters are bringing, and I think it will be a very healthy interaction today with my other panelists. Now, social media overall, to just give my few cents on that, it has basically made the world flat. Communication is boundaryless, and you can reach out to people across borders, across hierarchies, using tools, whether it be Facebook, Insta, or LinkedIn. So I'm like pretty much excited for the event, and I'm looking forward to the panel discussion ahead. I wish all the attendees here social media day with balanced approach. It has its goods and it has its bad. So let's make sure we do the most constructive out of it. That's from my side. Thank you. Thank you, Lajja, for giving me the opportunity.
Welcome. Now we are moving on to our fourth and final panelist. Welcome Parth Suba, who leads SEO in video, co-host of hashtag SEO Talk Twitter Chat, having 5+ years of experience in the industry, who also represent SEM, Rush India live shows, and love to interact with like-minded people of the industry. What would you like to share as an opening statement?
Thank you very much, Lajja. So I am the youngest kid out there in the panelist thing. So thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. We all are active on social media, but today is social media day, and it's good to see you all one-on-one, and good to see you, meet you all guys and look at each other's faces. It's a great feeling in this pandemic era. So thanks for organizing this one. Talking specifically about today's topic, digital marketing in general. So I'll be sharing my 2 cents on SEO strategies. So there are more than 2 billion plus Google searches every day. So SEO is going nowhere, and we are yet to learn a lot from Google and its updates and a lot more in this particular session. So I think let's get started. Glad to meet you all. Thank you.
Okay. So welcome all the panelists once again, and let's jumpstart with our discussion. People are waiting for that, and all the experts, I am waiting to listen to them. So let's start with that. And so my first question, I want to begin my first question. It goes to Amish. Tell me, Amish, what change you have seen in last 1 or 2 years in local businesses, in digital sphere, and what do you think this changes? Is it good, or is it something that you are worried about?
Oh, okay. So yes, last 1 to 2 years, right? Definitely, it has been a roller coaster ride for all of us. I think at least our generation has not seen such a turbulence worldwide, whether it be related to the market, business, economy, or just living a normal life. So, firstly, if we are here, we are still talking. Let's be thankful to God. He has been kind and graceful that He kept us healthy and fine. So, overall, if I talk in context to digital marketing, the consumption has quite increased because it was more of a era where people were forced to accept to like day in and day out the digital usage. So even at my side, if I tell a lot of my like elder cousins or my own family members, senior in age, twice my age or in fact more, they started becoming quite digital savvy. So now if I talk in context to the local businesses, because I believe everybody over here is looking for good takeaways and learnings from the session. So if I have to speak the goods about this, let me bifurcate into ABC, the sequence ABC, right? So the goods I can say is the acceptability and the awareness, because that makes a lot of difference. I remember 10 years back when I started my own company, I would have spent close to like 2 to 3 years just educating the markets and the business owners on what digital marketing is, how social media makes an impact. And I also remember people asking me questions like, why should I pay to get a post on Facebook? What impact does it make? Like बटने से क्या हो जाता है? क्या business आ जाता है? And today we are at a stage where basically the acceptability and awareness is that's A. Second is the budgets, B for budgets. So the budgets definitely have made a change, and people have started accepting either dedicating a budget for the same, or even at the same time putting across the other media budgets into digital. Like ideally, since I am a business person, I'll talk in those a little bit of numbers, where when I used to meet business owners probably around 3-4 years, 5 years back, they used to ask me to segregate the budgets. And that's where I had to like give them some accounting of that. If the product value is close to $100, spare around close to 10% or 10 rupees towards entire marketing. And of that, I remember I used to have a hard time convincing them to spare the total 1 to 2% towards digital marketing. Now the scenario is such people are open to spending close to 4 to 6% of the budgets, which is the advantage. Third is the C is the consumption. Now consumption as per ComScore metrics, which is one of the most renowned body for all this data and statistics, it does admit and accept that the consumption pattern has definitely bolstered by almost double the usage. So that is how I can segregate my A, B, C, which are the goods of the current scenario. The worries. Now, as I mentioned, goods in A, B, C, I'll keep the worries in D, E, F, right? Yes. But obviously I had to maintain some sequence. So D is basically a lot of dumping and spamming has just blown out of proportion on social media, because I'm answering this in context to social media right now more, where in this like race to make more noise, people are just spamming it and dumping a lot of content and postings. So even like, let me tell you my own service portfolio. When we started business, we used to have 5-6 services, in fact more, on various kinds, because webinar was a service, SMS marketing was a service. So WhatsApp was not there when we started, but like later it became prominent one. So we actually in the last 2 years decided to downsize our service portfolio just in order to make sure that you are in your niche, because social media is also becoming too generalistic. If you are in a niche, it makes sense because you get the value out of it. So my worry is definitely D is dumping. E is for effective content or messaging. That's where a lot of time business owners miss, the local business owners miss the core, because they believe that anything compared to, like getting a post for $200 versus something, like a visualizer who may charge, a content creator who may charge 2,000 or 20,000 bucks. They always want to make a comparative based on pricing. So the effectiveness of the content, the impact that it should create has definitely diluted, because a lot of people think it's a very generalistic thing and anybody can do this. And F stands for the failure to treat platforms uniquely, because the platforms are not all the same. There is a very different set of audience when you're on LinkedIn. There is a very different. Yeah.
Can I just interrupt you? You need to. We cannot see you actually. You're not
My
visible.
video is on already. Actually, the screen at my side is visible. I'm not sure. Sorry about that, but can the host help a little bit?
You are completely audible to us. It's just that we cannot see you.
Yeah, I think spotlight has not been done. That's the reason. The host has to probably put me in the spotlight. Okay, I'll just continue with my point because I'm almost done here.
Yes,
so
you can. Yes.
yeah.
Just to
So
interrupt you, sir, you are on the spotlight, sir.
okay, all right. So maybe I missed something. So I hope now I'm visible.
No.
Not yet.
Okay, shall I close my point here because I'm almost done?
Yes,
I think
yes,
there may be
definitely.
some other issue.
Continue.
Yeah. So the third one, which is F, stands for the failure to treat platforms uniquely, which is something which is a lack of insight from the local business owners who fail to understand that not everything that you prepare for social media goes on LinkedIn the same way it goes on Insta. So there's a different set of audience for Reels, there's a different set for LinkedIn posts. So you have to basically bifurcate. So that's how I see the goods and the worries, where ABC is for awareness, budgets, and consumption. And worries are DEF, which is dumping or spamming, effective content to make an impact, and failure to treat platforms uniquely. So that's how I categorize. And overall, definitely there's a health issue also related to too much usage, which also includes attention span deficit disorder. So I'm sure we all must be very judicious when we use social media. With this, I'll answer some of my answer. And if there are any panelists who would like to add to my this current statement, I'm definitely eager to hear them.
So according to you, sir, it's good also and it's bad also.
Yeah.
It's just us how to balance the social media usage and further things, right?
Yes.
All right, sir. And when we are talking about, so further, like I would like to move on to when we are talking about the local businesses, we started with the local businesses, small businesses. So I definitely want to ask two parts that how local businesses in service sector generate lead with an SEO strategy, and what you should do. This is very important. What you should do to get consistent result.
Got it. A very good question, actually. With the pandemic coming into the picture and a lot of FMCG brands coming up, because this particular sector is working very well during this pandemic. So it's very, very important for them to have a content strategy and an SEO strategy in place where they've listed their right geographies, local geographies on their website. So choosing the right pages, publishing the right pages with the local geographies which you want to target. For example, within Gujarat. Now talking about the major point will be playing around with Google My Business. So you should have your Google My Business profile very well optimized with each and every element filled up. The most important thing about Google My Business is people do go on creating one, but never go to their analytics, never post anything on it, and never update it. So the important part here is you need to keep on visiting it daily, change whatever parameters, whatever curfew timings or whatever is required. Keep on changing it. If your shop or if your business is open till 6 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever it is, keep on updating it so Google finds it very, very relevant and it will show up to the right audience, number one. Number two is getting reviews and ratings to that particular Google Maps, Google Business Pack. So now it becomes vital what strategies you use, like you give discounts to your customers, or maybe you find any other tactic to get reviews. Make sure that all of those reviews are genuine. Even if you get bad reviews or anyone complaining something about your product or services, you just need to make sure you reply to them and try to solve their queries. So replying to each and every review is very important. Keeping your Google My Business profile up to date. Keep a check on timings and holidays and whatever breaks due to COVID and stuff. And make sure you follow all the guidelines. Yeah, this is pretty much it for all the local businesses out there.
And so according to you, mainly the main point I understand here is to keep it updated. Like you have to keep it updated all the time, because that is the most important thing for all the customers and whoever is coming and visiting your page, right? That's how the SEO, that's the main key of the SEO, being updated, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So further, like after listening to you and when we are talking about so much about local businesses and also about 1-2 year, that's the major change for all of us. Like it's a big change. So when we are talking about from last 2 years, I have seen me myself is like a big habit of buying. Consumers' habit of buying online. Somewhere we were forced also to buy only online and not to go to the shops. So of course there were a lot of boost in buying online. And I want to ask this particular question to Himani, that what is this consumer's habit right now? What is this behavior? It has been changed a lot. It has been changed to an extreme level. E-commerce owners, they are spending a lot after social media on different platforms. But somewhere when it comes to SEO, you need to convince them. You need to be like, no, you have to do it. So when it comes to SEO, you need to convince them. How to do that?
Okay, so that's a really, interesting question, I would say, because yes, when it comes to local businesses, if you talk about retailers or even the small shops, the pharmacy shops, or even your, vendor is also coming, the strollers are also coming online and they are like taking orders on WhatsApp. They are also starting putting some photos on Facebook and Instagram. So it's like definitely pandemic has forced each and every local business to go online. And the first free platform is social media, right? Because they don't need any investment to go live on social media. So, anyone can pick up Facebook or Instagram and they can create their own page. But the point is that why they are doing this? It is important to understand the business point of view, why business owners were forced to go online, because the shops were, they were closed, but they cannot stop and sit at home just waiting for sales to happen for itself, right? So because they wanted sales to pick up or maybe to sustain or maybe get at least a somewhat sales, that's why they went to social media. And let me tell you, whether it is a small business, whether it is a big business, large enterprises, or any niche e-commerce website, it is like for e-commerce and the local businesses, the major important thing is to speed up the sales. So if they want to grab sales faster, that is the only platform they would rely is on social media. right? But does that mean, I mean, like I said earlier in my opening statement, that does that mean that they should focus only on social media and not SEO? But obviously not. So definitely Facebook and all other social media platforms are giving them faster conversions. That is one reason. And another reason is they provide highly extensive, detailed audience targeting. So what is happening is that even if they will spend some bit of budget in advertising on social media, they will start getting some results. They might get some conversions. So that is the reason social media is like the key platform that can drive sales for local businesses and e-commerce businesses. But that doesn't change the fact that SEO is equally important. For that, I would like to share a couple of reasons. Say, for example, first, I would like to talk about the brand awareness, right? So what happens is, let me compare social media and SEO. When a person, when a business is promoting on social media, they are going to the customers. And on SEO, on Google, through SEO, customers are coming to you, right? So that is the difference we have in both the platforms. In both the ways, we are going to expect conversions. One will take a bit of it, bit of its sweet time, and one might give you instant results. So that is one reason that brand awareness happens very quickly on organic search. So that is the major reason. Another reason why businesses should focus on SEO is the trust factor. Say, for example, your nearby electronic home appliances store is sharing a lot of information online. And whenever you search something around AC or maybe your oven or anything, so you might see the same website coming again and again on Google. So what will that give you an impression as a customer is like, this could be a trustworthy website, and that is why Google is showing it to us, right? So that is this trust factor that gives SEO the major importance for every business to focus on. Another reason I would like to share is the SEO ensures better user experience. Like it is something like SEO is equal to better user experience. It has become like this. So if I talk about an e-commerce experience, then if a person is coming on the website, if they are not easily they are not easily able to view the product page properly, or the payment gateways are not working properly, the link structure is incorrect, I'm not able to filter out the products or something like that. So that hampers the user experience. But when you have SEO in place, you need to consider all of these parameters to make sure your SEO gives you results. And that's why it becomes like SEO is equal to better user experience. So that is my third reason why businesses should focus on SEO. Another is the website traffic. Social media is mostly for driving engagement, and on top of that, you can expect conversions. But when it comes to organic, it majorly reflects how many people land on your website and then they convert. So SEO has like huge opportunity for a business to bring multiple, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people to the website, and then you have better chance to convert them, right? So it increases your traffic to a great heights. And the last reason why businesses should focus on SEO is that it maximizes ROI, return on investment. So the investment that you have made on SEO will give you results after a few months or maybe a year based on their competition and the industry. But when it starts giving you results, it is the highest or the maximum ROI that it can give to a local business or the e-commerce business. So I believe for every business owner, ROI is everything, right? So, for all of these reasons, businesses must focus on SEO on top of what platforms they are using, for marketing their products, services, and business.
Exactly. So as you said that one must invest and then give time. It's just like the business. And when you just cannot expect something in return in the beginning, like in 1 month or in 20 days, right? So it's social media is playing its own part. SEO is playing its own part. When you are on social media, when you're putting a picture, you might get result like directly from that photo. Someone can buy something and directly you will get the conversion. But when it comes to SEO, it's just a proper business that you invest your money, forget for 3 months. And that's how, and then you see the results, how it's coming. So that is the biggest point, right? That's something very important everyone needs to know. That's very interesting, Imani. And I would also like to add, and for that, I want to ask the question to Bhautik. So tell me why any business, we already talked about SEO, but why any business should consider social media and search engine both together? And is there any reason that we use both of this together to generate results? What are the reasons for this?
Thank you so much, Lajja, for asking me this question. But yeah, there are a couple of things I need to include before I start my answer. So Parth talked about Google My Business, and Himani absolutely correctly talked about the push and pull technique. That is something what we see on social media and SEO. So first and foremost, we see the higher intent people who are coming to you through search engine. So the people who are basically searching on search engine, they have the higher intent. But on the basis of the interest and the behavior, if you want to reach out to the audience, you have social media. But before we talk about the use of social media and search engine, I think we need to understand the digital ecosystem, how this digital ecosystem is developing in last 7-8 years. So nobody thought about why Mark Zuckerberg bought Oculus back in 2016, or maybe Instagram during the same time period. But now we are seeing the decision that what he made back in 2015 or 2016, now in 2021. So recently we came to know that Facebook is planning to launch their own smartwatch. Now just understand this digital ecosystem. You have the smartwatch coming from Facebook. You have the VR glasses of Oculus again from Facebook. You have the social media itself of Facebook in terms of Facebook and Instagram, and obviously now WhatsApp. WhatsApp is coming into the e-commerce platform, so you can show the shop. Shop is going to integrate with Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp all together. At the same time, nobody thought about Google My Business a couple of years back. People were only curious to talk about Google My Business because there was a map and the kind of authenticity of your business by the verification code that you get at your business place. But then they introduced the post. Now the posting thing on GMB is something that we normally see as a, that social media side of the search engine. So you are posting every day on search engine as well. And that is a call to action button along with your posting. So we need to understand this digital ecosystem that is developing very smartly. It is unfortunate that we normally see one or two facets of this ecosystem only. Like Himani said, that we normally see about social media, or we talk about the search engine. We are not talking about the great combination that these two platforms can give the kind of boost to any business. So altogether, digital is divided into two major streams. One is the marketing and another is sales. But when you're talking about marketing, you have search engine in terms of optimizing your website on search engine. You have any social media where you are creating some high engaging content and expecting people to engage with your content. And like that, they will see your content again and again. So it is going to help your branding activity as well. But when we talk about the sales, we focus a lot on Google ads. We focus a lot on the social media ads as well. And now another player coming into it is the OTT platform. So I think digital ecosystem is growing very, very, very seriously, and we need to focus on this ecosystem. Now, when we are talking specifically about social media and search engine, I personally feel that there's a strong correlation between social signals and the ranking position. There's a strong correlation. And in that terms, I think what people can do, the business owners or the marketers, they have to focus when they're using the social media, they have to focus the kind of potential that it creates in generating the links that can get the traffic back to your website. And the people who are into SEO, like we always believe the use of the Pinterest. So we do that. And like that Pinterest, it may not give you the kind of result just like Instagram or Facebook, but Pinterest has altogether a different role to play. So I think the links that is not only generating maybe crawler, it is not going to give the kind of crawler to your website, but yeah, as far as the traffic is concerned, it is going to help you a lot. It is also going to help you a lot, the kind of audience that you want. Because when we talk about the audience on the basis of their interest and the behavior, now if the same people are going to see you, if they're going to observe you on the social media platforms, they can come through the link to your website. And that is how you are able to get the potential traffic back to your website. And now the role of the website is purely on the kind of structure that you have created. You have to focus on the navigational part of the website. You need to understand that from which page to what page you want people to travel, and hence how you can generate the leads or maybe generate the sales conversion by selling your product. Instagram is growing, that we all know. And now there is a unique kind of people who are using Instagram. Even on the Instagram, there are different kind of content that you can create. Reels is there now, and IGTV was already there, story was already there, post, we have seen the post all these years. So how smartly we can use the Instagram, that we need to focus also. I always mention the use of the YouTube, because if we talk about the YouTube, we also talk about the YouTube as a search engine also. So why we cannot use YouTube to positively influence our overall SEO performance? So I think we need to also check the SEO score of YouTube video that normally we ignore after uploading the video. We only crave for the subscribers and the likes and the comments, but we normally ignore that SEO score of each and every video. And finally, as I said, the use of the ads on social media is very important. You need to run the ad campaigns. You need to get the traffic onto your website. Even if you're writing a great piece of blog, you need to run the ads. So I think that is a great combination between social media and search engine.
Exactly. As you said, I think it's not just one thing that we have to keep in mind, but there are like all these things we have to keep it in mind about each and every platform, and along with that SEO, along with that other things. So I think you said it so well that it's a ecosystem, digital ecosystem, and I'm sure many of us has never thought of it like it's a digital ecosystem. When you are saying it, it is coming into our mind that okay, it's a digital ecosystem and you cannot go with one platform, but you have to be careful about each and every part of it because everything goes together. Now we understand that social media and search engine, how it goes together, because it's a digital ecosystem. And thank you for saying that. Now, when we are talking about all these things, I can also say some parts, somewhat that I know, some facts that I have come across too. So when we talk about the local businesses, small businesses, 91% of retail brand use 2 or more social media platform, 91%. Also, when we talk about Facebook is such an important part in this social media. I'm sure no one has ever thought about it, but it is so important today. According to Facebook itself, there are more than 50 million small businesses using Facebook pages to connect with their customers. And this is just a small businesses. So we can imagine what the number it would be. And it is the overall number. It's in general number Facebook has come up with. So these are the facts that I know, but I'm sure experts has a lot more to say. So I will not take much time, but I would like to mention that this is for the participants, not for the experts, but for the participants who are there right now, who are present right now. Anyway, it is advantageous for all of us to stay till the end. But if you are staying till the end, all the participants are staying till the end, they are going to receive the participation certificate. Plus, they are going to get the question and answers compiled in one ebook, and they will be getting that to all the people. This is especially for the people who will stay till the end. And also there is one more thing, one bonus that Reshma talked about. It's the Clubhouse Meet. It's the post event. Whoever is there till the end, they will be kept in the Clubhouse meeting, and there will be links shared with them. So be there till the end and listen to all our speakers, experts. I would also like to be thankful to our associates, our associate partner Prosmith, IT partner Suflam Technologies, academic partner SR Luthra Institute of Management, academic partner IBS Ahmedabad, community partner Socons and Shida Power. So without taking a lot more time of everyone, let's jump to another discussion. And this time I want to start with Parth. When we're talking about so much social media, SEO is something which is very much technological stuff, I can say, and everyone wants to know what is it, have to do it. And so I have one question for you. What is backlinks? How can we generate high quality backlinks on our website? Does it help in building digital authority of the website? And how? Just talk about the backlinks.
Sure. So to explain in layman's terms, for example, if we are referring to a bakery shop, we all visit bakery shops. Like we have friends with us who refer that I get my cookies from this particular bakery shop. So we have like 10 references for a particular bakery shop, and then we decide that this is the best, and I need to go there and get my cookies from there. The same way, there are millions and millions of web pages on the web. So Google needs to prioritize web pages based on the reference. I'm hearing my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Am I audible?
Yes. Yeah. Completely.
Okay. So Google will rank web pages based on the references it gets to that particular web pages. So if a particular website or a web page is being linked from good websites like Forbes, Entrepreneur, or any good website, right? So that particular web page will be ranked higher, because initially when Google started indexing pages and started ranking multiple pages on its search engine, it used to rank based on the title and description and normal text. And now everyone started to spam. So everyone started to use all the keywords in the title and content and meta keywords, and back in 2005 when everything was being indexed and stuff. So then Google came up with this idea that the web pages which have more references will get more priority, and then over a period of time they have matured enough that they keep on identifying the right backlinks with the right metrics with their machine learning and AI engines. So they keep on updating it. So it's not that you have more number of backlinks and you can rank, but a good amount of backlinks with right references, and the relevancy should be there. So backlink is all about good references.
Okay, so when you talk before, also you talk directly to the point. You give the key, that this is the key. So right now also you just said that backlink is all about the right references. I also want to ask this particular point to Himani, that what do you say about this right references and backlinks when we need to generate the backlinks?
Right. So, like Parth was like amazing at to the point, providing 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's done. So, it was so to the point and perfect that it is like, it is difficult for me to add anything, but let me share something that I feel, especially for the local businesses, right? So when it comes to local businesses and grabbing backlinks for them, it is very, very difficult. So what happens is, if it is a small retailer, or, a small business, which is, or maybe the one that has multiple stores in multiple cities, right? So it becomes difficult for them to grab backlinks. So what they can do is they can either go for local listings, or they might need to focus on working with two things. One is influencer marketing, because when they do influencer marketing through bloggers, they will get links quickly. And when they get those links quickly, though they might have to pay the bloggers, but that blogs would also pass on the links to them, right? So that is something very easy and quick. And another way is the PR. Either they need to do something that can catch the media attention, is the straight away gold mine for local businesses, that they can start grabbing good authority on Google whenever it gets references from those sites. So it is very critical for small businesses, but yes, it cannot be avoided. They have to be focused and with the right strategy, that if this is not possible, if one thing is not possible, you have to move to another thing. But you cannot wait that there is this niche doesn't have any backlinking opportunity. No, there is nothing like that. If there is no opportunity, you have to create it.
Exactly. I so much agree to you that when it comes to the small businesses, local businesses, it is very difficult right now to to generate the lead, to for the conversion or anything. It is very difficult. And when it is difficult, yes, then influencers come in, bloggers come in, definitely. And they are, yes, local businesses, small businesses, they are relying lot on influencers and bloggers, definitely. So for my next question, it's about the startups. I would like to ask this question to Bhautik. When it comes to the startups, the biggest challenge for the startup is to generate revenue in the beginning. And how, can you tell me that how social media is useful to generate conversion right from the beginning?
Yeah, so I was expecting any question related to startup, because there might be few people who are into startup or they're thinking for the startup. So I personally feel, Raja, that we need to understand the entire social media in the 3 layers, right? So there's a top layer, there's a middle layer, and then there is a bottom layer. So let us start from the middle layer. So I'm not going to start from the top or the bottom layer, but if we are talking about the middle layer, there is the what content you are going to put. But when you go to the top layer, you have how to show that content. Now, if your what is clear, then only you can talk about the how. So the top layer depends a lot on the middle layer, and the middle layer then depends a lot on the bottom layer. And the bottom layer is for whom you are going to do that. I personally feel that startups, most of the time, they make the mistake in identifying their bottom layer. So if you are very much clear, your audience. So see, we talk 2 things a lot. You listen to any speaker anywhere in the world, they're going to talk about 2 things. Number 1, your audience, and number 2, the engaging content. But the question is, are we actually understanding what is the meaning of audience and what is the meaning of the engaging content? Nobody has this formula to create the engaging audience other than you as a business owner. You need to understand that who is my audience, what are the likings, what do they like, what do they not like. But as a startup, if you are only going to do the sales pitching in your content, the people are not going to like it. So somewhere you need to understand the startup, they need to build. It's a business. It's not the game of 1 or 2 days. It's not a game of a couple of months. But startups, they have to understand that you need to have the fund for the marketing. But when we talk about the fund of the marketing, we forget that marketing is different than the sales. And when you have the fund for the marketing, you again need to identify your fund for advertisement and again the fund for the organic activity. So I think you literally require somebody who can tell you the reality, the bitter truth of the marketing. Now problem is what? We all have taken the social media for granted. I think everybody will agree to it. We have taken social media for granted. We have not taken SEO for granted because SEO is comparatively technical. And now with all these heavy jargons, you know, the core web vitals and the page experience, and oh my God, nobody is going to crack this code until unless you are a passionate SEO person. So we take social media for granted because we are very much habituated with this each and every day. You open Instagram, you know that, oh, this is something what I can call a reel. Let me create a reel. So you have the product, you are going, you are shooting, you are becoming a digital creator rather than a marketer. So most of the startup people, they are forgetting that you are not here to become a digital creator. You are here to run your business. You are a businessman. A businessman thinks about the different management functions, and one of the management functions is marketing. If your core marketing is clear, if you understand that you have to do certain kind of research, you have to do certain kind of survey just to understand your audience. If you are clear with your audience, I think you will be understanding the kind of content you need to create. And then comes that how you are going to present your content on the different social media platforms. Now, again, the unfortunate part is the content that you are using on Instagram, the same content you are also using on the LinkedIn. But people over there are psychologically not ready to see that content. You and me, we all are seeing the same Instagram reels on LinkedIn as well, on Facebook as well. And obviously, Instagram is always there. So I think startups need to understand that this is a long-term game and you are here to play the test match rather than the 2020. That's it from my side.
That's it. It's a lot. But when you were talking about this core marketing, I would like to ask Amish if he has something to add to this when it comes to startups, because he has experience of this many years, and I'm sure he must have seen a lot of startups and a lot of things. So Amish, can you add certain points to this question?
Hi, Lija. So
Hi.
I guess now my video is on.
Yes, you are visible.
Okay. So I think whole thing added quite valuable insights because as a business entrepreneur, I'll definitely relate to them. These are the things that you have to see from like the perspective versus when you are a professional and just doing the execution. So like yes, I can say a little bit that I may have my own reasons to add this because whatever the experiences have been in the last 8-10 years of doing business. I think, but obviously, number one, business owners or the startups have to start being a little less price conscious because what happens is most of the time, even today till date, whatever the business inquiries one gets, specifically when you're working in a market like India, it's always driven by what your package starts. But what people actually miss out is that price consciousness has to come last. Firstly, it has to be the depthness of the agency or the individual you are dealing with. Secondly, the strategy and the scope he or she is bringing on the platter. And thirdly, basically, it has to connect with the impact the person can generate. So this is quite important.
Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. Your voice is little unclear.
Is that? I guess.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just tried to change a little bit of audio. Okay, so we're talking about the pricing part. There are 3 things that one has to consider before actually assigning a job: the strategy and the scope. Secondly, the impact it can generate, and thirdly, it has to be the pricing part. Whereas it's the reverse way around in India. It starts with pricing and then it ends with the strategy.
Exactly.
Secondly is the content creators part, because let me tell you, this is a market where there is ample amount of talent of different kinds. You may find a person who is ready to do your post design for just $200. And there are, as I mentioned at the start of this conversation also, there are people of visualizer category who do it for 2,000 or 20,000 bucks. Now, what happens is content creators may vary and their prices may depend based on their experience, their insights, and their overall caliber, which a business owner finds it difficult to analyze and understand right at the start of their assignment. So they ideally have their own mental framework where they want to have a specified budget pre-hand before issuing their contract. And that's where a lot of time content creators, good quality content creators, do not agree to work on certain projects. This is something that I can tell you as a digital entrepreneur that we face in India. Where good people do not want to associate because the commercials are quite too constrained and there is no room for them. So expertise is very important, and specifically the kind of the tips and tricks and the experiential learning that one brings on board is something that's very important. Thirdly is the time part. A lot of time, what I have seen is either startups or at times even business owners, they have a very fixed time frame in mind. They do expect overnight results, where marketing agencies like us have to clarify that. But obviously, time is one such factor that you have to allow the agency to absorb your briefing rightly. Even step up their capabilities and the skills to match your shoes, because when they market on social media, trust me, it's such an open battleground that if you're not on the right side of the book, it may boomerang back for the brand. And we have been seeing a lot of cases. Like, I'm also a digital marketing faculty for a couple of educational institutes here in Ahmedabad. And we have these case studies ongoing regularly on how brands themselves lead to the failure when they try to pressurize the agencies. And unfortunately, the time frame given is not sufficient to deliver this. And that has happened to national agencies. Let me tell you, a lot of time national agencies in a hustle to deliver the campaigns just throw it open in the market, and then they get trolled over social media. So time frame is one such important other factor, which I believe that Bautik explained quite well the other factors earlier. But I think these are the three areas which I also would like to add to this part. So that's it. I think that's from my side.
So listening to you and Bautik, I can think that when you are coming up with a startup or anything, you're coming up with something new, you want to do sincerely something new and you want to generate revenue out of it, you need to do a lot of planning, research. You cannot just, okay, you thought today I can do this tomorrow on social media, or I can make this website like this. It's not happening. It's something that takes a lot of time, lot of research, study and everything. And then you come up with something called a startup. And I'm sure, as you said, that many people, they don't have patience. They don't have patience of they cannot wait. And I'm sure that is the biggest point. That is the biggest point that the startups fail. That they don't have patience. They just want the revenue, or they just want the result, or they just want the likes and comments and whatnot. So from you all, I understand that everyone who wants to come up with a startup, whoever is there in the audience, whoever is listening, whoever is watching you, they can now think that yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt, but no offense to any attendees from the business background, but thankfully your points did allow us, for people like me, or even I think Bautik may agree, to bring our badass out, because sometimes from being on the digital entrepreneur side, there are a lot of things you want to say to the client or the inquiries of the startup guys, and I guess this is the only first time I might have been so open about it. So I think Bautik may agree on that.
It's so true. I myself have seen it, and I have seen that people don't have patience. They cannot wait. It's a startup. You need to give time to everything to grow, right? So they just want the result tomorrow. Yes, Bautik sir. Yes, please.
Yeah, I personally feel that there is nothing like, we have to tell this upfront to all the people. I'm very sure and I'm very upfront, and I think all of you will agree to me that if you are starting a business, it has to be a scale defined at the very initial period. If you are lacking with the fund, you don't have the fund, it's absolutely fine. You do certain things with your mobile phone. You try to create your own website using the Wix platform or maybe WordPress platform. You can do anything. At least something is better than nothing. But when you want to scale it up, you cannot run your startup business in the straight line forever. You have to scale it up. And if you want to scale it up, you need people who understand marketing, and you also need people who understand sales. HubSpot is the company who is talking about marketing, SMARKETING, marketing for more than 12 years now. Now, the question is, how many people in Gujarat or maybe the other tier 1 and tier 2 cities of India are talking about marketing? We are not talking about that. We are only talking about the sales. We are not even talking about the marketing. And that is the reason most of the companies, they have the recruited people with the designation of sales manager, sales executive, BDE. Now the names are changing, the designations are changing, but the role is the same: generate sales. They can generate sales, but the question is, do people know your brand? Do they really want to purchase your product or the service? If they are not going to know your brand, maybe they will hesitate to buy it. So that is how it has to be.
Okay, perfect. And I'm sure if we keep talking about the startups, there are a lot of points, and it will be like just keep going on and on and on for sure, because each and every person among us know what is startup and have gone through a lot of things. So I really want to when Himani said about the backlinks, so there is a question in our comment section that can backlinks can be from any platform like a social media?
I believe that I would not say it is a backlink, but I mean, recently Brodie Clark did an experiment where he clearly showed that, you know, the links that you share on social media, especially on Twitter, where there is a Twitter carousel on Google SERPs, that drives and that influence your clicks and organic impressions as well as click-through rates. So yes, if I talk about influencing, yes, it influences your organic traffic and your organic visibility, but that is not considered as a backlink, because you are using social media for your distribution purpose and not for the backlinking purpose. So your goal of using a platform has to be defined. That for social media, what you are doing is the content that is created or the promotions that you are doing, you're just distributing it and considering it as a platform for distribution and promoting it. It is never driving any backlinking value to your website.
Okay, so according to you, that when you generate a link from the social, like any social media platforms, they are not like the backlinks from like website. It's completely different. It has a complete different role, right? All right, and it has to do with sales organically on search engine. Like, what do you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. That does help in, say, for example, if you are building links, right? We also discussed, I and Parth mentioned that, you know, how you can generate backlinks and how Google understands it as a reference to drive your organic visibility. So yes, if I talk about backlinks, yes, they do give value to your website. But as I said earlier, social media platforms or the social networking sites cannot be considered as a backlink. Let me give you an example of Pinterest. if there is a home decor brand of the, or there is, interior designer who is, setting up its own business in Ahmedabad, and he wants to promote his business, he has to rely on Pinterest, right? Because from that's where the inspiration will take up. But that Pinterest has the super powerful SEO presence. So whenever you promote anything on Pinterest doesn't give you a backlink, but it does give you the organic visibility, and it may drive traffic from Pinterest to your website, right?
Exactly.
So you have to understand that social media can help you promote your products, services, your blogs, your content, but it cannot be used as a tool for link building. And when it comes to link building, yes, they does help, and they are the most important thing when it comes to Google to come to your website. There are two ways using which Google will come to your website. One is by doing that request indexing thing from Google Search Console, and another is through links. So yes, these are the two ways to get your content or get your site indexed, crawled, indexed, and even ranked on Google. So for those things, backlink is very, very important.
All right. So I understand your point completely. And what is the backlink also? Now I know what is the backlink, social media, website, and all that things. After listening to so much, like all of you are talking so much, but as a general person also, like if I'm not into digital marketing and all, if I see from outside the whole picture, the industry has become so much demanding. Each and every person is talking about social media today. Whoever it is, they if they have the phone, they are going to talk about social media. And in social media, there are people who still doesn't know what is social media platforms, and they are talking about Facebook. Just in general, each and every person is talking about Facebook. So when the industry has become so much demanding, I would like to ask this question to Amish, that it is highly demanding right now. The clients are so much demanding. What things business owners and promoters keep in mind when they outsource digital marketing?
Okay, I think I covered a little part in my earlier conversation.
Yeah.
And but obviously, it's a dream come true if they actually are going to obey everything what probably you look forward to, and what should be the ideal state. But let me tell you that clients in India come from various different backgrounds with a different state of mind. A lot of them are price conscious because, but obviously budget is a constraint. But what they miss out here is that the kind of learning that a digital marketer brings on board, like the education, the learning by experience, being hands-on. Like I'm getting into this field like 15 years. When I started off, SEO was the only big thing. Trust me, Facebook was not even big that. And I was writing case studies when I first actually went into digital marketing. YouTube was not even acquired by Google. Days from there to now, the journey has evolved so much. Every experience adds to a certain learning cost. And that's how a better agency or a good agency has to differentiate itself via that. And the business owners have to understand and, ethically speaking, value that what will be brought on board. So pricing is my first constraint that I always have to handle, and it's an obstruction that keeps coming constantly. Secondly, is also at times getting productivity out of the team is a big challenge at times, because most of the time clients believe that getting it in-house done is cheaper, but trust me, the costs related to not just employing the person, but managing and ensuring the right reporting on day-to-day basis is a big headache. So when clients come and outsource, they have to account all these value-oriented attributes along. So that's probably, I think, secondly, yes, I mentioned about content creators value because there is a huge different type of talent around. A visualizer comes for a huge cost versus a TTP operator. So there is a huge difference that the postings may see when they are completely up there. And thirdly, yes, again, I'll put on the time factor. I think, yes, that's it. If there's anything other from my other panelists you would like to add, I am much happier about that.
So when you answered all the question, and from all the answers, I came to that point very first, pricing.
That's right.
You always mention that budgeting,
I'm a
pricing.
bunny. I'm a budget man.
But I definitely agree, and I know people in India, so definitely I agree to this point that pricing and budgeting is one of the most important part to this. So when it comes to pricing and budgeting, can I ask this question to Bautik sir also, that can you tell me more about this? Where today I can say that if there are a lot of students, right? So they want to do something on social media, they want to build their own website, but they have no idea, they don't plan anything, but they just jump start, and then they also get disappointed very fast. What is this role like? What is the role of pricing and budgeting? What is the importance of it?
So I think absolutely right question, because this is the kind of industry where there is no fixed rule of asking for about the budget and the pricing. So first of all, you need to understand that why you want to create your website, or what you exactly want to do on the social media. So let me make it very clear. If you are asking the quotation from the top-notch agency in the country, they are going to charge BOM per month. And at the same time, if you are going to ask a small freelancer who is working, somewhere in the small town, or maybe in the city like Ahmedabad or Surat, although it's not a small town, but yeah, still they're going to help you with the 500 rupees per month, or even 1,000 rupees per month. So I think question is not about the budget. The question is why you want to do that. If you are very much clear about your goal as a businessman, I think you will be understanding the actual role of each and every social media. Let me talk about the kind of website. So for a routine business, a general dynamic website, there are people who are developing the website at the cost of 4,000 or 5,000 rupees. The same website, a good agency is going to charge you at least 30,000-40,000 rupees, and the same website, a still further good agency is going to charge for no less than 1 lakh rupees. So I think the question is what they are going to provide to you. It's not just a piece of some web pages. There are a lot of many other things, starting from your user interface, the kind of user experience that the website is giving to you, what kind of navigation it is giving to you, whether the website is coming perfectly right in terms of the new page experience concept or not. So there are so many things. But yeah, one piece of advice I want to give to each and every business person who is sitting over here, because the same advice I normally give to my client, rather than asking the budget to the agency, rather than asking the budget to a marketer, digital marketer, you need to come forward with your budget. If you are very much clear about your annual marketing budget, then only you will be further clear about your annual digital budget. So digital is not separate than your marketing. If your annual marketing budget is very clear to you, you can easily understand that what percentage of the budget you want to contribute in the digital as well.
Exactly. I agree so much to you that when it comes to the annual marketing, I think in today's time right now, in the situation, digital marketing is playing much more better role in this annual marketing. And it is much more important right now. So just like what you said is so correct. And thank you for saying that, in fact. I have one question. I took the question from the comment box. It's for Parth. I want to ask this question to Parth. Should people invest in SEO? Until how much time they should invest in SEO? When brands should go for paid ads, or Google, or social media?
So all of these three channels are different. So organic search, paid PPC game, and the social media game. So in social media, we have organic and paid social both. So specifically talking about SEO, SEO is a long-term game. If you are looking for quick sales, like if you have a couple of thousands of dollars in your hand and you want sales within month, like in the next month or within 2 to 3 months, you should opt for PPC. Or if it's a D2C brand like Mamaearth or any other brand like Wow Science, you can go for Instagram marketing and you can get your conversions. But if you are specifically talking about SEO, you need patience. You need at least 6 to 9 months to wait and start seeing the results and then progress further. So SEO is a long-term game. If you are looking for like next 3 to 5 years, then invest in the right content and get your website ranked on Google.
Okay, so according to you, when you want to invest in SEO, you have to wait. Like that's the main point, that after putting your budget into SEO, you have to wait for certain months, and that is the when you said that when you have a plan for 3 to 5 years, then you can think of investing into it.
Yeah. So just to add to it. SEO is a consistent game. So to put it in a simple word, it is a marathon and not a sprint.
That's the point.
I want to add one thing, because Parth ne meri dukhti nas pakad li hai when it comes to SEO. I sorry guys that I cannot resist myself. Everybody comes with the SEO project, and after 1 or 2 months, there is no conversion. We are not coming on the first top page. My couple of questions to all those people who expect you to get on the first page. Number one, do you really want to come on the first page, or you want maximum CTR, or you want maximum traffic, or you want people to go to the right page on your website, or you want maximum ROI in terms of the lead generation or the sales? What exactly you want with your SEO? If you want all of this, as Parth said, start SEO when you start your business. Stop your SEO when you shut down your business. That's it.
Oh, perfect. Perfect, sir. So now everyone can see that what is SEO. It is something which is required from the beginning till the end. And that's how the SEO works. So when we're talking about all this, it will be time also to close the discussion. But I have a very general question that we face the pandemic. We all face the pandemic. Do you think it has how can I say that it has a great impact to our industry? It was like a boost to our industry. What is it? Can you, sir, can we start with Bhautik, sir? Can we start with you? Can you just give me in 2 lines a short statement about it? That what is it? How pandemic worked for our industry?
I think that the good and bad, both the sides. When at the same time, we are seeing that the screen time of the people has increased a lot. So right now, if you are watching TV at your home, along with that, you are also having your mobile phone in your hand. And at the same time, you are working on the laptop. The screen time has increased. It is very inspiring. You cannot ignore the role of OTT platform that I already said in my opening statement. And at the same time, people, when they were in the lockdown, they've gone through certain 299 rupees workshop, online workshop. They've attended that, and now they're believing that they are the digital marketing experts. They don't need any advice, any other people, and they're doing it by themselves. So just wait and watch for more a year or 2 years. All these people will come down to the reality, and I think then the things would be rather smoother.
So, sorry, but just one more thing, if you can add, when people see the career, like right now, as you said, that people went to learn and they think that now they are digital marketer. What is the career opportunity? Like, what do you think the future would be?
See, future is absolutely there. Marketing is not going anywhere. My couple of inputs to all the students who are here or the new freshers. Number one, start loving the marketing. If you love the marketing, then only number two, you need to think about the digital marketing. It's not about your interest. It's not about what is happening right now. It's pure about the passion. If you have the passion like crazy, like what I have or Amisha or Parth or Himani, we are the crazy people. I tell you one thing, we are the crazy people. We have this passion. So if you have the passion, if you love marketing, if you love challenges, I think future is good. Just go ahead for that.
Perfect. And can we go to Amish for this same question?
I think Bautik did mention all what probably I'm looking for. I do second, so instead I'll suggest maybe we can cover other questions from the chat box because there are some very interesting questions coming up. So
Yes, but so there is one question that I can see that it's for you. And how can social media in particular help in building measures for education fraternity, which includes both institute as well as students?
yes, but obviously I think social media has the closest connect to student fraternity, and the young lot is actually quite occupied on the screens all the time, whether it's mobile, the tab, or the laptops. And overall, like, I believe that the last year has been quite turbulent for the education segment overall. Like my own kid, she is just in 4th standard, 2 people in college and people pursuing their MBA. So it has impacted everybody. The patterns have changed. Even a lot of professors are still struggling to cope up with a new way of teaching because they were used to classroom teaching since ages. So if I take from the institute perspective, number one, they got to be more dynamic. They now need to take social media on the front foot. Like there were institutes till date, even in my reference from Ahmedabad, who had a complete no-no to using social media from the campus. And now they have started voluntarily, like accepting the dynamic use of social media. And they are doing it for 2 perspectives. One, imparting the education continually because part of this is since last 1+ year, everything is distorted. And secondly, also for admissions. So overall, like admissions is also something that a lot of administrators from school fraternity are looking forward to because that's the way to reach out to the prospective students for filling up their batches. And for students, yes, if you use it judiciously, you use it balanced way, I think there is ample opportunity to learn, network, share, and keep building up. I keep typically telling all my digital marketing attendees from the academic side every year on year that your biggest teacher on this earth is actually YouTube. Go there, learn through the videos, and there is ample things you could do. So that's how I think I can talk about the education fraternity.
All right. After listening to everyone, I'm sure there are we are actually every time this happens that we have shortage of time. So right now, I hope that we could we have kept a lot of things and we said many things that is good for everyone, and even myself, I learned a lot. So, and when it comes to when they say you have to give the closing statement, so I can just say one thing from my side, that when it comes to social media, it's not just social media. I have learned today one thing, that it's a ecosystem. This is going to be there in my brain now, that it's all one thing, how SEO is important, how backlinks are important. So social media is not only one thing where you can generate sales or revenue. You need SEO also, you need everything. And that's how I will close it, that it's not only one thing. You have to balance all the platforms, you have to balance SEO, everything. And for that, you need all the right people with you. So that's it. And thank you everyone for discussing and talking about so important, so many points. And I would like to hand it over to Reshma again. Reshma, you can just take over.
Thank you so much, Lajja. I would like to thank all the panelists and panel moderator for sparing your valuable time and giving us wonderful insights. I must say, this will help all the attendees to remold their social media and SEO strategies. And also I'm thankful to all the associate partners for supporting us in making this event successful. And lastly, I would like to thank all the participants joining from different parts of the world for making this event successful. So you will receive the participation certificate in the next email through a link. Also, as Lajja mentioned before, you will also receive Clubhouse Meet invitation details and an ebook where all the question answers you have commented in the comment box will be answered, and an ebook will be compile it in an ebook and mail it to you. And a Twitter movement briefing this event's key takeaways in next 1 week. So yes, great event. We shall take a leave with the hope of meeting next year again to celebrate social media always. If you have any further queries, you can mail us. Thank you everyone for joining. Once again, a very happy Social Media Day to all.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. See you on social media. Bye-bye.